Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast. Today we have a very special episode for you guys. Today we got the OGs of the L7C. We got Cedric and Byron with us here today. How you guys doing? It's been a while since we've been together.
Yeah, it's been a while since we got the OG crew together. I'm doing good today. Cannot complain.
It's been a minute, man. Good to be back, though.
That's right. And today we talk about something different, man. We haven't talked about this ever on the podcast. We're talking about some food. Specifically ramen. I think you guys would know by now that the three of us, we like to eat good food. And we
Yes, we
like to
do.
eat some good ramen. This came up an idea through Cedric, so we're going to talk about ramen, throw in some other foods and just go from there. So, first of all, Cedric, how did you just decide, like, you know what? Let's start talking about some food. Let's talk about some ramen.
Honestly, I mean, we live in Columbus. If you guys haven't figured that out with the Buckeye podcast, then that's kind of on you for not paying attention. But Columbus is a food hub. Like, as far as this country is known, there's a lot of different chains. That headquarters here is a testing location for a lot of different fast food chains. A lot of different restaurants get a lot of opportunities here with different areas for ghost kitchens. And so it has a lot of opportunity for chefs or other restaurant ideas to bring new cuisines, new styles, new fusions, introduce them to a very diverse market and see what a success rate is like. And honestly, it's one of the things like if you haven't seen us either, we eat good food, as I said. So talking about ramen, I know that's one of the things that we all enjoy. Sometimes when we go out to get dinner, one of the consistent types of foods that we will get together. Me personally, I love Asian cuisine and Japanese food, so I enjoy ramen probably the most as far as like of that diverse area in cuisine. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's talk about ramen. Let's talk about food because there's so much out there, especially in Columbus alone.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Before we start just talking specifically in ramen, obviously another thing we all watch anime. We talk about anime a lot on this podcast, and one of the foods that are heavily shown in anime is ramen. And Byron, do you think that connection with a lot of people watching anime, let's just say like one we talk about a lot, Naruto, like with seeing
Mhm.
him eat ramen, like do you think there's a connection of people watching him as like, oh, I want to eat that type of ramen and then going out to actually try it?
I think it does have a lot of connection, especially if you watch anime heavy, like some of the members of the L7C does. I know when Naruto goes to Ichigo Ramen, it just makes the food just look so good. And that camaraderie ship between like his friends and like whoever he's talking to with that episode in that spot just makes it, I guess, more relatable. Like, oh, I can go get ramen with my friends and just chit chat and have a good time. So I think anime plays a lot into the level of ramen for some people.
And then Cedric, there's places in not just Columbus, but across the United States and the world where you see anime is heavily influenced in their ramen shops. That they got like different anime characters in there and ramen bowls dedicated to the anime characters. And like, what are your thoughts on that connection between anime and ramen?
I guess for those types of places, they feed into a specific sector of crowd of people. Like Ichiraku Ramen, you could Google Ichiraku Ramen and you could find probably hundreds of different shops that are like showing Naruto. You could also go with like any other type of anime, Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
There's ramen shops that kind of highlight that. There's definitely a big connection with it. You see it a lot in anime because ramen's kind of like that, like for lack of a terms, as far as Japanese cuisine, fast casual type of aspect of it. Like it's not something that's
Mm-hmm.
like so expensive that's like top tier 5-star dinner type of dish. It's typically something that I would say is close to street food. You do need a table because it's a bowl and chopsticks, and you have your spoon for the broth. But for the most part, it's as close to like street vendor type of thing. People come in off the street, sit at the shop, you eat your bowl, you go. So there's definitely that connection there with a lot of animes, especially with adventure type animes, shonen type animes, where you see the characters kind of traveling, moving around. One of the meals that's easy to implement in there is ramen.
I agree. I think if I don't, I believe it's the slurping turtle that has a whole bunch of like anime stuff in Columbus. I've been there. It was pretty cool. But what Byron, for you, man, what makes a good ramen bowl for you? Like what taste is it? How's a good ramen bowl for you? What's it taste like?
Man, it tastes like comfort. Like just the different spices and the noodles and like the egg you can get in there. It's like comfort because like growing up, you have those like ramen noodles that you can put in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
So like eating like I don't want to say professional ramen, but ramen you get from a restaurant just tastes like comfort and like home.
And I just want to say it is the slurping turtle,
Yeah.
because they have a freaking extra topping named Naruto.
And actually, I've never been to the Slurping Turtle.
Oh, it's pretty good. I've been there.
Are you talking about the fish cakes?
I don't even know what it. I believe it's the
Because
fish cakes.
Naruto is a topping, just like Menma is a topping in ramen.
Yeah. See, well, I just see it right there because I was like, no, I've been there. They had anime stuff on. But Cedric, what about you, man? Like, what's a good ramen bowl taste like for you?
So I'm very particular on broth. I
Mm.
probably care the most about broth when I mean ramen. I mean, it is a soup-based dish. Like I like the noodles. That's probably the second thing for me that I'm looking at. But I'm a sucker for a tonkatsu bowl. That boiled pork bone broth. Just that's my typical go-to at any ramen place. That's the first type of ramen I'll try at any new place I've ever been at. So for me, it's like that broth. I need it to be rich, like rich in flavor, good seasoning, not overwhelming and salty. Uh, I'm a vegetable person too, so I like to see different vegetables in there, like minma, bamboo shoots, corn sometimes, even if it's some chopped green onions or scallions. I am a sucker for a soft boiled egg, or medium boiled egg. Um, pork belly.
Mm.
That's the one thing I'll definitely try first. So for me, it's just a good combination and good balance of those flavors. Nothing that's too overwhelming in flavor. Nothing that's too salty, too sodium level. Because again, that's like Byron said. Like in a lot of those, growing up, you get those at home seasoning packets. There's like 1,000 milligrams of sodium in there to compensate for the different seasoning and flavors. I don't need that. Just let it be nice and rich, smooth, and I'm a happy camper.
Byron, do you remember the first time you had like a real quote unquote ramen bowl? Like, where'd you go?
It was with you guys at Michigo. That was my first real ramen experience. I think I had the pork belly because of Cedric's recommendation. It was really good. I think I actually get the pork belly every time I go.
So, what were your thoughts then? Like going in, like that was your first one. Like going in, like what were your thoughts?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I definitely go back anytime you guys send out the invite. Like, oh, we're gonna go to Michigan Ramen. I sure do.
What about you, Cedric?
My first ramen restaurant, I went to a place. It's closed now. It was in Grandview, Ohio. Here, Grandview Heights. It was called Jobu
Mhm.
Ramen. I went there a couple times during law school with a couple of people. That was the first time I tried like pork belly. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a takatsu type broth. And then I tried pork tenderloin. I ended up enjoying pork belly a little bit more just because of the mixture with the flavors and the texturized like pork tenderloin. It's good, but it's not. I guess there's something about like, for lack of a better, like not necessarily the sponginess, but the tenderness of pork belly in a ramen broth that just worked for me, and I really liked it. And then that's what really started me wanting to like, oh, what other ramen places are there in Columbus that I didn't even know about? Because I didn't know they sold that in restaurants.
Yeah, they got a lot of like you said earlier, Cedric, Columbus being a food hub. I got TripAdvisor up
Oh
right
my, oh
now,
yeah.
and they have supposed to, and they like had the top rated Columbus Robin, and number one they had the Whitney House. I have not had that. That's up in Worlington. Have any of you guys had that one?
Whitney House.
Hmm.
I've never had it. I have heard of it. Let me see something here.
But they got our place number two.
There should go.
Mm-hmm.
See
it.
something here.
And Slurping Turtle number 6.
I know you guys
Saying
talk about
this-
the
this
number
place.
5 Fukuraku ramen a lot.
Yeah, no,
So I haven't been there yet either.
They have blown up in popularity since like 2019.
Mm-hmm. No, man. I think for me personally, with Mashika, like the ramen is really good. It's fantastic, but man, the appetizers, like the karaage, like man, I get that chicken karaage, and I'm just like, whoo.
I'm a good fan. I like their miso soup that Michigo
Mm-hmm.
has. I love a good miso soup.
Because there used to be a ramen spot in Pickerington where their appetizers, they just weren't it. They didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like you got your bowl and adios.
That's
And that place, and unfortunately, that place got shut down. They replaced it with a different food place.
So right now, I'm trying to find because I've heard of Whitney House. I never heard them serving ramen, so I'm trying to see if they actually do. They serve other great food, but I don't know if they serve ramen. Unless it's on a special menu. Sorry to interrupt, but it's just like,
Oh no, you're fine because I mean, for something to be number one and we don't know if it actually sells ramen or not, then
well, and that's the thing with like TripAdvisor and Yelp. A lot of times when you search in like good food places, they sometimes pop up like top food places that people have recommended, even though they don't have the dish you are looking for. Yeah, I don't see it on their menu.
yeah,
I
I'm looking
looked at
at
brunch
their.
and food on their website.
I see a good burger slapped in the middle of the page.
Oh yeah, like so they
Might be something where you got to maybe go in and see like, hey, so I heard you got some good ramen over here. So what's going on?
I'll play this. The ramen community in this city itself, if you have ramen, it's on your menu. Like it's also
That's true.
like if you have it and you have the supplies to make it every single day, you have it on here.
So, like, how many of these places have you heard of or gone to?
Go back to that list. I've had ramen from 4 of the places. I've had ampersand, but I didn't have ramen there.
Okay.
One of the few places that my first time getting like delivery ramen was Risi Sushi, which it was okay. It wasn't bad. But Satori Ramen is actually on my list. I loved Tensuki Express. Shout out to small community places because Tensuki Express is actually in a Japanese grocery store. Like that is like Tensuki Market is a Japanese grocery store that's out near Upper Arlington. It's off of Henderson and Kinney.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually catty corner almost to probably one of the best sushi restaurants in this city or in this area called Akihana. But Tensuki Express, they have a little Japanese market, and in like the little side of it is a restaurant, and they serve ramen. It's really good for its location and size of that place. I've had Mashiko. I actually have Bukaru for the second time since being back in Columbus. It was pretty good. Can't complain. I still need to try Slurping Turtle. Almost every time I'm in Easton, I think about it, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit here and have to deal with the traffic after I'm full. So,
yeah.
another place I saw was a Kieran Noodle that's out in Clintonville. So I have a list of places I'm still hoping to try.
Yeah, Slurping Turtle I want to try out different ramen because I've only been there once, and that was with L7C pop culture expert, Chelsea Heppert. So I like going to some of these places and trying the different things on the menu because, I mean, usually when I go, I only order one bowl where I want to
Mhm.
sometimes order like 2 or 3 to test out everything, but I don't have time for that. And the funds ain't allowing that sometimes. So I like going back and like getting a different bowl and eating that one at any food place, really.
Yeah. I did not know Slurping Turtle was at Easton. I'll have to try that next time I go down to Easton.
Yeah, it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what else it's.
Is it like in the new part?
It's in the new area. It's like
Yes,
the new side of the. It's in the new side. It's near where I want to say Crimson Cup is at.
Okay.
Like in that little area over there. It actually has like a little cool marquee sign that like hangs down. It's really dope.
Oh, it's a really cool spot. It's just like what you said, Cedric, and what you just said, Byron. It's like when you go to Easton, man, you really don't want to stop for stuff. Like you're there to get whatever you need to get and just leave.
Right.
Because you get into that zoo at Easton, especially if you're going on a Saturday.
Or Friday night.
Or Friday night.
Oh my gosh.
Just like got all the stuff down there. Easton now, you got the pins there. You got all, I mean. Nah, I mean some Byron, how about you, man? Besides Mashiko, are there any other places you've tried out ramen wise?
No, Mashika was the only one I've been to, but I definitely want to expand my ramen experience. This anytime. This year, next year, whenever it comes up. Definitely try and Slurping Turtle next time I go to Easton, though.
Highly recommend Capital Ramen. Low key, it's a ramen food truck.
Ooh.
Right now, the most times I see it is out here on West Broad, in front of the city building. They used to come towards the law school and by the Catholic Society that was like downtown. For a food truck serving ramen, it was fucking good. I was truly impressed with it. I don't know if this place is still open. Red Rabbit Ramen was good. It was a ghost kitchen for a little while. Then they opened up a little stand near Brewdog in Franklinton. But they used to do like a weekly like reserved spot for like different other menu items that they would serve. But I haven't heard or seen anything really from them since the pandemic.
I just googled it. It does say looks like they're still in business on West 6th Ave. Opens tomorrow at 5
p.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m.
Yeah, I don't know why I said p.m. I don't know what ramen place is going to open at 5 a.m. But
you never know.
I don't know why I said like that. That's But Byron, have you I know you said with Mashiko, have you taken anyone there? Like, hey, this is your first experience eating ramen. This is where I went.
Outside of like our friend group, there like a couple other friends like Clayton and like some of his brother and like their best friend. We went one time because me and Luke, which is their best friend, had it, and Ethan, which is Clayton's brother, they've never had it, so we took them there and they enjoyed it. And then I've taken my brother with, I think it was with that group too, and he enjoyed it. He's a big food person.
Was that during your birthday weekend?
It was, I want to say sometime in 2022.
Cedric, what about you, man? Have you taken anyone to any of these like ramen spots to try ramen for the first time?
Outside of Mashiko, not really. But that's more like I don't know. I like when I get ramen, I don't typically go with groups unless it's like a restaurant that everyone's kind of agreed on. With like trying new places, it can be difficult, especially with ramen because there are different types of broth styles, and if you get set in a certain type, you may not see what you like there, or they may add different toppings that you may not enjoy. And so for me, when I'm taking people, especially in Columbus, to try ramen for the first time, I take them to Mashiko just because it's a very diverse option menu they have like 7, 8 different ramens. And so if you want something like spicy, they have options for you. If you don't want something spicy, you want something more like garlicky or savory, they have that option. It's just an easier, diverse menu to introduce someone to it, and it's not like big or overwhelming. It's just kind of a small place. So it just is a lot, I guess, easier for someone's first experience with ramen.
I would also say with Mashiko, man, if it's busy, that waiting area ain't big.
Right, because it's not a big
It's
restaurant.
not a big
so
place at all.
yeah, there's a wait. You're waiting outside.
Yeah, outside or in your car. You go there like a Friday night, and then you're running the risk because some people got paid, some didn't, and you're like, oh, because and then especially if you become with a big group, because like you said, it's not that big a place.
Yeah, I think the most we've gone with is like 6, and that was a time.
Yeah, like Mashiko, I don't know. It's
And
one of
it's
the
a
go-to
trek.
ramen places that's here.
Yeah.
It has a wide variety. I don't know. I wouldn't mind taking people to other places,
Mm-hmm.
but it all depends on the person. I mean, keep it real. Like some people enjoy ramen, but some people don't like really enjoy it to be like, oh, I want to try ramen from a place I never had, or a place that like maybe the first time to try for both people going. So
I hear you. Shoot, I might go slurping turtle this weekend. Who knows? Shoot. Cedric, what was it like getting because you said you've had carry out, like they brought it to you before. Like, does it taste
yeah,
any different?
I've gotten delivery. I've gotten it where I picked it up. So it does taste different, but that's mainly because of the travel time, right? Like it's different than a bowl being prepared right there, all the ingredients together at once, fresh, hot, right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So what most places do, they separate the ingredients, right? Your broth is in one container, your noodles is in another container, and your toppings and ingredients maybe in a third container, or sometimes they combine the ingredients with the noodles. And everyone, it's like making a bowl of cereal. Everyone does it fucking different. Some people pour the cereal first and want to pour the milk. Some people put the milk first and want to pour the cereal. That, as crazy as it is, can affect the taste in how the flavors are broken down with the ingredients. Because if you're pouring something that typically collects all the flavors over everything, it can change the experience as of difference of pouring it in and just dropping those items into said broth and then mixing it. Like you get a little bit of a different experience. But for me, I don't know. Those are the times where it's like I've only gotten carry out ramen. Just my personal pet peeve is if I'm really craving ramen and I just can't do without something else.
Okay.
I've never had carry out. I've just always had it sitting with group of people to go back
I
to
got so
Byron.
bad. I will say this: it's not going to fit in a regular bowl.
Oh,
I've learned that. Yeah, so that's why I end up during the pandemic. For example, during COVID, when I would really want ramen, but you can't go to the restaurant because everything's closed. But that's when I tried Red Rabbit and Fukaru. I probably had Red Rabbit like 3 or 4 times during the pandemic, and I tried Fukaru twice because they were the ones on Uber Eats that would deliver. I ended up ordering on Amazon ramen bowls. And so that way I could fit all the ingredients in one bowl because it was a pain in the ass trying to use like a regular bowl because you fit like half stuff. And then you're like, well, I don't even have enough for another whole bowl. So what the hell do I do with the rest of this?
Hey, Byron Slurping Turtle, man, you can let me see what I was just seeing down there. You can cater a private event. You can host a birthday party there.
Good.
Or you can join the team. Click here to apply. I don't know why they still got Christmas and New Year's hours up, but shoot,
I will say this, Byron. Fukaru has a rewards program.
Hey.
They have they have like 5, 6 different locations. It's ridiculous how fast they've blown up.
I need to go there too. I'm gonna knock some of these places out by the end of this month. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Fukaru, I could knock that one out. I mean, I just need to pick a day. But on a funnier thing, Byron, any ramen eat anime characters you could out eat?
No. You know how big their bellies are?
Wait, oh!
I've seen Naruto put down plenty of bowls of ramen. Same with Goku.
All right, I didn't say him. I think you could.
Bro, you gotta pick someone else, bro. You gotta pick the weaker league. Those are the top. Those are the heavy hitters.
Yeah,
You ain't mess with the heavy hitters. Like it doesn't even matter. Goku. It doesn't matter if it's ramen, food. Goku's eating it.
I know, bro.
That's
I
true.
just watched a 45-minute video of just Dragon Ball eating. I'm like, dang, I really used to think when I was little I could compete with these people. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Byron, like, man, you could out eat Sasuke.
Probably.
I don't even know if that man eats for real.
Eh, not really. Probably not.
You can out eat like Shikamaru. You can go in that Naruto
Alright.
cast and fit right in. I don't know if you out eat Choji, but
Oh no.
He may eat ramen. Listen, man. I mean, shoot. Shikamaru will say, "Hey, you won't see me here, but you can come see me at that Korean barbecue."
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, man. There are always times when I'm watching, I was like, dang, if I went at it, could I sit there with them? Can I eat it with them toe to toe? And then as an adult, I'm just like, man, I just see someone just get a whole like rib and just shove it in. I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. But I don't know, man. When you start getting that good bowl of ramen, you're just like, dang, I don't want it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But then we ain't anime characters. So Cedric, are there I know there's food animes, like I know there's animes based on food, but are there any like particularly based on like making of ramen that you know of?
That's only ramen.
Or Asian or Asian slash Japanese cuisine?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I would say no. That's just strictly that. Like Food Wars.
Yeah, I know Food Wars.
Food Wars is all types of different cuisines, which is a hilarious anime.
It is.
In my opinion, it's fucking hilarious. But nothing that is solely ramen based or Japanese or Asian cuisine based alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like a candy shop anime, but that's not really about like ain't nobody making food in that.
And then, man, Cedric, you were right about the Furuku ramen. Like they do have they do got a whole bunch of locations in the Franklin County.
I was gonna say they've done a good job of diversifying their locations. They have one on every side of town.
And I think that's good business because Mashiku, man, you got one, and depending where you live, that's a track.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because like Fukuru, the biggest question for them and always time is every location going to be the same consistency?
Ooh.
Because when you start having chains, especially with something like ramen, that's what people start asking. Like, am I going to get the same type of bowl from this place as I am up near Polaris or over here? Like, who was the recipes like to say like these bowls are going to be consistently done right?
That's a good point. Because they got looks like I'm seeing 4.
Yeah.
So I know they got Polaris.
Yep.
I saw one in Dublin the other day, just like driving through Dublin over at
Birch Park.
I was like, what the hell? This is over here?
Hey,
one downtown, one by Ohio State.
I bet that Ohio State one's popping.
Probably.
Yeah.
If they're hit, man. I mean, I just for the listeners out there, man, especially our anime listeners, if you go out there and try some good ramen at one of your local places, wherever you're listening at. I also know too, if you type in like anime ramen, there's so many Instagram pages that come up. There's so many Pinterest things that come up with like directions and how to do it. And if you're good with that stuff, go ahead and make your own. But there's a lot of good ramen to be had in this world.
Absolutely. Making ramen is a long process. If you do from completely 100% from scratch, because the longest thing that's going to take you is the broth. Because that stuff has to cook for hours. Like hours on hours of time. Like But you can find bone broth or different types of broth at the store if you want the quick, fast track way of doing it. Then you just buy the regular ramen noodles yourself. The little packages don't use the seasoning. Just use the noodles.
And Byron brought up something earlier about like ramen, like hanging out, comfort food. I'm just thinking back. I'm like, I don't know if I could eat like a real bowl of ramen, like watching sports. Like, I was just
I
thinking,
dead ass can.
I haven't thought about it though. Like I'm just like every time I've eaten ramen, I'm just chilling, hanging out with friends, like just talking about stuff. I've never been like, oh, let's host a Super Bowl party. What are we gonna have? Oh, let's have some ramen. I've never thought of it like that. I have to try that one day.
Right.
Typically, with me and the bowl of ramen, there's one mission only: get to the bottom of the bowl. Like that's another reason why I don't really go with a lot of people, because I'm like, I'm really there for the ramen. Like I'm there to enjoy and take in all the different stuff. Like I may try some broth first, some noodles with some broth, some noodles, pouring the broth over the noodles because that should be piping hot. But I still want to taste the broth of the noodles, certain ingredients, certain items like toppings. Oh man, so good.
Oh, I agree. Anything else on ramen?
Don't knock it till you try it.
That's true. Yeah. What are you gonna say, Byron?
All this talk makes me want to go open up a packet of ramen and make it after this.
But it won't be the same.
I can lend you one.
It's not going to be the same. But I bought just like those 69-cent packages of ramen from the store last time.
College lifesavers.
The college lifesavers. Yep.
Hey, no joke though. If the little cups, that's where it's at sometimes. You can find some good types of cups, like Shin Black. I think it's Ishii. The brand is like a red and black brand. It is not bad for cup ramen.
I'm gonna have to try that out too. Maybe get some cup ramen. Maybe that's what I'll do in the fall. Get some cup ramen while watching OSU, taking notes, sitting there, seeing if we're ever going to beat Michigan again. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Well,
I can't say I've definitely eaten ramen watching basketball.
I'll really have to try it, like the eating ramen and not just chilling, watching something else.
Sure, you eat ramen and watch anime. You'll
feel
like you're part of the world.
Yeah,
that's facts.
I never thought about that one.
I believe Slurping Turtle, when I went there, they had some anime on one of the TVs when they had some sports on the other ones. The one time I went there, but no, that's facts, Cedric. I mean, so you really feel part of the world. Shoot, Byron. Anytime they 2 cups in, you got to be 3 cups in.
All right.
I'm about to spend like $90 at ramen restaurant trying to do that
just to compete.
Nah, you ain't got some of that. You ain't got some of that money they got over there. But no, this was fun talking about some food because again, we love food around here. And what better way to start talking about food on the podcast than a food that is seen in a lot of the animes we all watch and talk about on this podcast with ramen. I mean, shoot, maybe we'll expand this, talk about some other foods we like, some other places. Maybe, I mean, I know I'm going to try out some of these places, hopefully, in this month of March, make it a goal and come back and talk about our experience at these places.
That's a good podcast idea.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, and then, one day, throw it maybe a little tournament out there, maybe do some other foods. Don't let me come in here start comparing some burgers now. Come on now.
Oh Lord. You gonna have the whole world asking, but how much you paying for each burger? Because that's already a thing, man. Everyone wants to talk about like what's the best like value chain burger or whatever the hell, and everyone's like, well, but you're gonna pay $15 for one place. That's not a good price. That's overpriced for a burger.
Well, since you did bring up price, we haven't really. But Cedric, since do prices vary for these ramen bowls across places?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But that's akin to like, I mean, the reality of any type of dining experience. Prices vary for different locations, different areas. A lot of that has to deal with the restaurant. Like you'll find a lot of places like Tiger Lily is on the list. A lot of places that sell other stuff, but ramen's on their menu. They may only have 2 or 3 types of ramen. You may see varied prices from like anywhere from like $17 to $20. It's possible. Like you may have some places that I think Fukuru, when I went last, their bowl was like $15, which isn't bad. Like 15, anywhere from I'll say honestly, if you're paying $15 for a whole bowl of ramen, that's a pretty good deal. But anywhere from like 15 to like $19 isn't ridiculous. Depending on seeing a lot of these prices, that's typically the range you'll see. I mean, I was gonna say I'm trying to think like the cheapest bowl of ramen I bought from a place may have been. Well, no, because like you pay for the delivery stuff. So I was gonna say maybe Uber Eats when Red Rabbit first started is like close to $14. It's like $13.50 or something.
Not bad.
Shoot. Byron, anything you want to add, man?
No, I'm just excited to try these new ramen restaurants that I didn't know were out there.
How old is this article? So, real quick, there is this article from Game Rant. Take that for what you want. That made a 8 best anime for ramen lovers.
Okay.
I will just copy this and share it, and this will close on that. But you guys can look at the list as well. I mean, number 1 was Naruto. Number 2 was Dr. Stone. Number 3 was Dragon Ball Super. Not even okay. Ponyo. Food Wars was number 5.
I have a thing like Miss Koizumi loves ramen noodles. I don't even know what the heck that is.
She looking like she eating good, and that bro, she can't eat that whole bowl. That bro, this picture they're showing that dude is looking like, huh? Then all right, yeah. So please make some more ramen. Just some dang Miki working at her mother's Chinese ramen restaurant. All right, well, maybe I'll check one of those. Maybe I'm just gonna type in ramen eating scenes on YouTube and call it a day and see what they're talking about in there. Well, shoot. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. We'll all be back one point or another soon. So you guys take care. We got a lot of great content coming this month, and we'll see y'all later. Take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.